You had a documentary that you showed at Sundance about your father, who was an abstract expressionist painter. And that's going to come out this summer?
Yes, it's coming out around Father's Day, I think. Give it just before that, I think, in June.
It sounds like it's a very touching documentary because you display his work in all your restaurants.
Yes.
I understand that.
Not all, but practically wherever I can, you know, like here and Nobu in downtown, the one in Tokyo.
And I've read that you did this mainly for your children and your grandchildren.
I wanted yes, I wanted to make a documentary about my father, so that the kids and my grandkids, his great grandkids, would know who he was, what he was about. And I kept his studio exactly, pretty much as I had to maintain the stuff, but I kept it just about the way it was when he passed away about 20 years ago. So I wanted the kids to see it when they got older and they appreciate what their grandfather did again.
You read from his journal.
Yes. And
in that, he reveals that he left his wife upon realizing his homosexuality.
It wasn't quite that way. That's a movie version. He left because of other issues they had, but it was not so cut and dry. It wasn't that way.
When did you find out, and how did it affect you?
Well, I didn't know. I sort of had a suspicion when I was in my early 20s, but then my mother sort of intimated that there was something, and I said, okay, and then I eventually got an idea, but I wasn't going to hear much about it from her or from him, because it's just something he wouldn't tell me about.
How did it impact you?
I said, well, okay, it's knowing what I knew about him, seeing the way he was, I could see that might be something that would be part of who he is. Mm-hmm.
You did it in part for the children and for the grandchildren, but how did it help you?
Well, I always feel that for me, it was my responsibility to preserve my father's legacy. So I wanted to do a documentary about it. Then HBO took it and so on, and I was happy about that. But basically it was for the family. I didn't know how long it would be. I didn't know if it would be an hour or 2 hours. What I said, when I had some footage that I had bought from someone who followed my father around in the 70s that we use in the film. Not that much, but we do use it. And so we were lucky to have that because it does help in areas with it. But that was the idea, and I wanted to do the documentary before it got too late. And his contemporaries, some of his contemporaries are still with us and very much alive and well. And I wanted to make sure that they would be able to be interviewed, and other members of the family and so on.
And they got to see it. What they think?
I don't know if they saw it yet. We're going to have a screening, and then they'll see it. And I think I don't know if actually the participants have seen it. I've sort of waited. The whole family are going, family, friends.